guys, this is Rico and I'm back for sure. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Like this video because you want to, because you found something informative. Dislike this video because maybe your opinions are different from mine, or either you're a hater, but I love either one. I'm cheerful over here. Subscribe, you're basically gonna get a whole lot of commentary with me being real, mostly pertaining to East Asian pop culture and East Asian news. BTS and their performance at the VMAs. MTV has been hyping up this performance for weeks. I remember just constantly seeing the commercial for the VMAs and them constantly saying a performance by BTS. I'm like, they really want the armies to watch this, and I'm pretty sure the armies came through and they watched it. I said I'm gonna go ahead and watch this award show because I planned on doing it anyway. I'm interested in music, even though award shows have been kind of bad recently. Still, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. Overall, actually, the VMAs wasn't bad, even though there were some questionable things that happened with misplacement of certain musical genres because of somebody's race and some performers that I felt shouldn't have been there. But overall, it was basically like the VMAs decided to have a show at Lady Gaga's concert. Let's put it like that. And then there were all the other opening acts. That's pretty much how they had it. I'm saying facts. BTS got on. They came on pretty much like toward the beginning. It was maybe like semi-middle of the show, and they did what we know them to do. It was a very cute performance. Dynamite was released before this performance. It was a very good idea to do that, so people were kind of familiar with the song. It's a very catchy, fun, cute song. I'd see it more geared toward kids. I could see it on Disney Channel, on a Kids Bop tape. When I first heard the song, I wasn't too impressed. The performance, I watched it, and you know, it kind of was what it was. I wasn't too blown away by it. I saw people like raving about the performance, saying how good it was. One thing you'll know about me, I'm not a follower. So I have my own opinion about stuff. Just because something is popular, I don't follow what other people are saying, or because a whole lot of people like a certain thing, I jump on the bandwagon. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the best thing ever. No, I have my own thoughts and opinions. And the performance was just okay. It wasn't anything special. The choreography that they do is always very tight. I love how you can tell that they know each other very well. There's a bond there with them. They look like they were having fun. You could see that everything was just layered on so well, from the backdrop to the personality of the boys. But it's the same old with them. Even the dance, I felt like it was just something that I had seen them do before. And it's just typical. I don't understand how people say that BTS is different from other K-pop groups. They're really not. They're very manufactured. The sound that they have now is very manufactured. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that to like bash them. But let's keep it real, because that's really what it is at this point. They are nowhere near the old BTS that I knew way back in the day when they first started. Those first 3 albums that they had were Grammy worthy. Now, we were to go back to that, and if they ever went back to that actual sound where they were talking about something and they just didn't care how raw they were, that's the BTS I want to see. And I even would like them to mix that into this new mainstream sound, but they have problems doing it. I noticed that they have watered down RM. Now he's basically like a hype man for BTS, and this guy can rap. I mean, he can rap. So, you know, like, I want to see that in their music. I want them to have that same flair that they had back when they were first starting out. And I think the closest that I've gotten to that was Mic Drop. And, you know, other than that, everything else has just been very mainstream and just disappointing. Their last album was disappointing. The quality of the product was disappointing. The pictures were disappointing. I'm not gonna sit up here and, you know, kiss up to them. I like them and I want them to do better. This is me criticizing their music, not them. I don't want anybody to come and say that I'm talking about them as people. I would say this to their face because I want them to do better. I want to push BTS to do better, to be greater than what they were before. A lot of people are saying, oh, they're great now, they're different and they're doing the best. I don't think so at all. Like, I really don't. Just because you're selling a whole lot of units, just because you have a huge fan base, does not equal good quality. And they could do a lot better. I actually felt that even with all the people praising them and saying how good they were, there was another group that night, CNCO. They came out of nowhere. I knew of this group. I subscribed to their YouTube channel. I've been slowly keeping a watch on them. A little bit about my background. My father speaks Spanish. I had Spanish in the household. I grew up listening to Shakira and a whole lot of other artists I love, like Maluma, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, Ozuna. I mean, all of them. Love it. So I knew of these boys, these guys. They're not boys. they're men. And I was not expecting them to come with the fire like they did. However, they came out and they performed. A lot of people aren't really talking about their performance, but these boys performed. I mean, they actually risked COVID, did a live performance, were dancing on top of cars. One thing I love about the Latin community is rhythm is in their soul. They're like second behind black people, just having that natural rhythm where they don't have to do too much to just stand out. So they came, the formation, the inversion of when they picked up the member and threw him in the air. How they did like the robotic TikTok thing. Like, I was just like, yes! Yes! I'm like, they said, y'all thought that BTS was gonna hog all of the spotlight. There's another boy band that's also here tonight. And here we are. So I was like, you all got a new fan. Like, I already knew about them. I went, bought 2 CDs. I was like, I need to really get into them. I had like a whole CNCO marathon on my YouTube. I was actually calling them CNCO in my head. And I don't know if that's actually how it's supposed to be pronounced, you know, like number 5 in Spanish. However, they did it. They outperformed BTS in my opinion. Just overall, the performance that I would remember the most, even me going into the VMAs, not being biased or not knowing either group, CNCO would have been the group that I would have remembered. CNCO came out with the vocals that were live. It wasn't any backing track behind it. They danced and they performed. K-pop has this thing with the whole backing track where the singers have to sing over it. And sometimes it makes a lot of the vocals sound very muffled. I think that the best thing about live performances is that you get to hear all the little imperfections. It's okay. Korean people don't like to show their imperfections, and they need to learn that being imperfect when you perform live is okay. You don't have to hit every single note right. It's okay to show that you're out of breath because I want to hear that. Love that BTS tried to speak English during their thank you video. G-Man was having none of it. But I mean, I loved it. I loved all of it. I love how Artem was like, y'all gonna have to start speaking English now because I'm not gonna be translating for you all the time. This is enough. So you guys, this is my thought. It might be kind of like an unpopular opinion, but I really don't care at this point. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. I also have a blog on East Asian pop culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real. And I will be back. Love you all.